Speed them up a little bit. Some light work. Stop them. Reverse. That's pretty good. Yeah, nice one. Let's take a look. Rivarossi Big Boy, probably from about 1975-ish, somewhere around there. There's a KD coupler on it. Looks to be in pretty nice shape. There's all the steps. Looks pretty good. Let's see if it wants to run again. You know how some of these things, you run them one time and then they stop working and then you're like, whoa, I got a piece of junk. Ah, starts right up. Stop it, reverse it. Oh, jittery there. Huh. Obviously he's going to want some more run time. Not the smoothest, but not bad. Sometimes the drive rod off the motor needs to be replaced or adjusted a little bit. So if it ever stops working, that's definitely the first thing I would check. Like that. Interesting. Alright, let's see what it does. I'd say that's the drive rod off the motor. Let's see if we can fix that. Sounds like it's not even resisting anything. Well, looks like it's going to be some work. Okay, let's start working on our little engine here. Our little engine, Big Boy. This little cap in the middle has to just come on out. We have a screw right there. So we'll take that out. Then, let's get this front off. So I use a little hex head. Get him started. He's pretty tough to get in there. Better to grab him. He's eventually going to drop a nut underneath. But what you want to do is be able to pull out the boiler front. Hopefully not lose it, because they're a pain to find. Okay, then underneath is a bigger screw below the trailing truck. Find a slightly bigger screwdriver. Much bigger screw than the previous one. So we'll take him off. And then other than a couple of wires, railings that are touching, he should be free. Here's a wire in the back. Sometimes they're just a little stubborn, and other times they pop right out. But anyway, looks like that's what we have. So the shell comes off. There's the tender, not needed for any of this. Looks like we threw off this drive shaft. Interesting. Maybe it's just a little bit short. I don't know if I have another one or not. Let's see what the span is. If I just hold it right to there, it has a good almost 1/8 of an inch both directions, but if it slides too far the one way, it could come off. So my guess is it slid too far one way or the other. So it's probably going too far into one end or the other. In fact, this end looks like it's slightly oblong, so maybe it's slipping a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can find another one of these. I might have another one. Okay, I found a part that is hopefully going to work. We'll see. Just a hair longer, but I think that might be a good thing. Alright, so how are we going to get it on there? Make some slack. So I'm going to loosen up the engine mount. 2 screws. That'll pull out. So now I can see how this seats on this guy until he lines up. Make sure the washers are where they're supposed to be. Anytime you work on something little, there could be a frustration involved. I'm sure you all know that. It looks like it's in there. We'll tighten up the 2 screws. Normally I would test it, and it looks like it's probably going to be good. Maybe we could just put some power to it, put some wires to it. Okay, let's put her back together. I'll line it up. Last thing we put on was the big screw underneath. Put that in. You never really want to force it. You always want to back it out until it finds its threading. Then it should go in just with a medium force. Never too much. Details should all slide into their slots. A little tricky sometimes. Alright, put the little screw on the top. And again, you never want to force it. I always tend to back it out. And turn it in nice and firm and gently. Little cap right on top. Now this guy, so that's a little bit tricky to put in. We'll do that and then we'll test it. That'll be it. This will go right down into that receiving nut. We'll tighten them down and test them. So let's see what we have. Just put this guy this way. Tighten them down to the receiving nut. And he's set. Alright, looks like we have it running. There's just a slight hesitation coming forward. My guess is that drive shaft might be a hair tight. So if it ever needs to be tweaked, I'll just change the washer where the motor is mounted and put the other side of the bracket going up, just a little more length. And then later on, if that drive shaft ever sets in too far, you can swap the washer and it'll tighten up the connection a little bit. But anyway, let's see what it does in reverse. Looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, so if this ever gives any problem at all, I would just shorten that drive shaft just a hair, or like I said, swap the washer. Other than that, it looks like it's pretty darn good. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Yep, sounds good. Alright, ship it. It's beautiful. Big boy. 4005, matching tender. Seems to be in real nice shape. Enjoy.